What is up, y'all? It's been a minute. Got a lot to catch y'all up on. My previous Model 3 rear-wheel drive got completely totaled through a hailstorm. So after a horrific experience with Tesla insurance, I ended up buying this used Model 3 Performance. If you want to see everything that happened with that insurance claim, I'll go ahead and make a video if we get to 10,000 views on this one. So help me out, drop a like, and let's try to get there. Now, as always, if you are buying a Tesla before this tax credit goes away, definitely use my referral code and you should be getting some extra perks. I think it's some extra full self-driving time at this point. So definitely use that link and share the video if someone else is buying one. I don't have any affiliate links to anything that I advertise on here, so that's really the only way you can support the channel if you'd like to. Well, let's get down to it. Once my car got totaled, I could have gone back to gasoline. I used to have a Honda Accord. I also thought about getting maybe a different brand of EVs now that I was introduced to electric vehicles and was convinced. But I'm sure y'all know that once you join this Tesla cult, there is no going back, all right? And yes, I'm calling it a cult. Be the first to admit. Now, I looked at some Model S's. There were some used ones that were going for super cheap. 2021 was $26,000. Test drove that one. I looked at some Model 3s because with the EV rebate, if they were under $25,000, it was $21,000 with that $4,000 off. That applied to cars that were at least 1 year old. Cars under 1 year old do not have that EV rebate, and spoiler, that's exactly the one I picked. And I picked it for several reasons. I really got used to all the benefits of owning a Tesla. I plug it in my garage every single day instead of having to take bi-weekly trips to the gas station. Speaking of which, ridiculously cheap compared to my bi-weekly trips to the gas station. I do have super cheap charging on road trips. Every time I visit a different city, I'm always using that plug share app, and I essentially get free charging almost everywhere I go. Houston has a bunch of free charging, Dallas, Austin. Those are all great options. That app is really a money saver if you spend time to find some. I spent 30 days in Dallas a couple months back and found a free public charger. And guess what? I spent almost $0 for 30 days on charging, even though I was away from home. I've really gotten used to that quiet ride with those dual pane windows, quiet foam tires that are meant for EVs, and then that sound system that you can actually listen to because you don't hear that outside noise. Last of all, that app, killer app, allows you to precondition before you get to your car on those warm summer days like today. So let me get into this review now. I want to start off by saying this thing is incredibly fast. They name the fast mode insane. Heats up that battery a little bit, gets you basically all of the performance you get from those two motors in there. And it's literally insane. All of my passengers love it. If you don't engage your core, if you're not ready for it, you really do start feeling lightheaded. Now, fun fact, this car's 0 to 60 is identical to an Acura NSX. So we're really approaching race car material here just on public streets. I mean, it really is insane how quick this car can go. It's comparable to some Ferraris. It beats some older Ferraris. It's comparable to Aston Martins. It's really incredible the performance you get. People will, I think, don't realize just how quick it is. Now, another really big selling point for me was full self-driving included with the car. Elon Musk just recently posted 3 to 6 months until we get unsupervised full self-driving. Likely that deadline will not be met, and I'm not expecting it to, but even if it's within a year, that does mean I can sleep in my car on long commutes. I can study on things, maybe even use Grok for that. I can communicate, talk to people instead of focusing on my drives. That's so much time that you really get back from those commutes. I think that'd be a game changer. Speaking of full self-driving, if you do have Tesla insurance, it knocks off 10% of your monthly premium if you use it 50% or more of your driving. And since I do that, that's essentially gonna pay off for itself after about 10 years. If you do the math, roughly $2,500 saved in 10 years. That pays for the degradation that full self-driving was worth once I bought the car. Last but not least, the cosmetics of this car. I mean, I truly think that this car is arguably better looking than a Model S at times. I really love these taillights and the headlights. They look phenomenal. I even think the wheel rims look even better than the Model S. Even the new Model S that just came out, genuinely think this looks better. The previous owner added a tint to this one, and he also added a lot of carbon fiber accents. So those handles here, mud flaps in the back and the front are carbon fiber. They added some carbon fiber to the front wheel, and we got some carbon fiber on the dash, of course, as usual. So a lot of carbon fiber accents, very enjoyable. These seats are phenomenal as well. They look great. Really like the 3D badge. It's got some little bumps there on purpose. Looks great. Perforated seats as usual. These are much louder than the previous Model 3 that I had. Let me know in the comments if you also have heard a big difference. The ventilated seats really do kick up much more noise than my previous version. These seats overall are still very comfortable. I do think the previous ones were more comfortable though, to be honest. I do like the bolstered seats. I mean, it keeps you in your seat during those high turns. But overall, you sacrifice just a tad bit of comfort. These creases were also very prevalent on the driver's seat. So I ended up getting my driver's seat replaced, and now there's a small little creak at times. But we'll figure that out in my service appointment tomorrow. And I forgot about this last carbon fiber accent. This Spigen, whatever you call that brand, has a nice little tray that I use. Watch my accessories video if you want to check out all the accessories that I personally use, including these really nice floor mats that are much cheaper than the 3D Max Spiders. Speaking of these badges, this really does remind me of the hyperdrive in Star Wars for the Millennium Falcon. So I went ahead and named it Millennium Falcon to kind of simulate that hyperdrive since it goes so quick. And you can kind of customize your lock sounds. I picked the hyperdrive failure, but I've been told it sounds like a moose and a T-Rex, so I might be replacing that soon here. More carbon fiber accents here. We got that rear spoiler on the back. Looks really nice. Keeps the angles real sharp for the car. And also some letters on the logo that the previous owner added. Badge right here looks real nice. It's actually 3D, which I did not notice until I got the car. Wheels look phenomenal. I really like them. Like I said, they look great. Now, it hasn't all been perfect. I do have a couple of rattles, some that come and go depending on the road conditions, but the speaker rattle has been very consistent. I'm on my 4th service visit tomorrow morning for it, and essentially anytime I turn up the music, the bass in the back vibrates. I don't know what it is, but there's a trim piece that vibrates. I will say it's easier to tell that these noises are happening when you do have an EV because there's no engine. But that said, that's something that I did notice. Another thing is that these wheels do make the ride a little bit harsher and a little bit louder, ever so slightly. These are just really thin tires. I'm sure you can tell. And you do have that upgraded air suspension in the Performance, which is nice, except you can't really tell, like I said, because of those tires. I've heard that if you put the bigger tires, your range is exceptional, and it's really comfortable because of that air suspension, but I do not reap those benefits. Another bummer is that I will be using most of my electricity savings into my next set of tires. I've already gotten the notification for the back ones, but that's kind of part of the service for tomorrow. The technician last time told me I was fine, but I keep getting those notifications, so I'm gonna check those out. If I do have to buy some, it's gonna be real expensive, And like I said, there go my gas savings because of these really nice sport tires. I want to point out there was a massive difference between the rear wheel drive tires and these in terms of acceleration. Acceleration is literally close to double in the rear wheel drive, and the tires would skid on almost every 0 to 60. In this one, the tires never skid, and I'm hitting 2.9. So, you know, big difference in traction there. In terms of the speaker system in the back, I personally did not mind the first one. I mean, this one has a lot more bass, but sometimes it can get a little too much for a long road trip. So actually might prefer the old one. You all have probably guessed what the biggest sacrifice I've had to make is with this model, and that is range. I went from 363 to 303 miles rated EPA, but the single motor rear wheel drive used to be about 180, sometimes less, sometimes more, and now I'm consistently getting about 260 to upwards of 290 watt-hours per mile on road trips. That you know, if I go on 10, yeah, it's about 240, and 200 is 290. So that really goes to show that 2 engines is going to consume a lot more than one, and also this has the performance engine in the back. I think it's carbon fiber something, so it's more performance oriented. My commutes to work used to be 2%, and now they're consistently 3%. So it really has been a sacrifice, mostly on road trips. It's not noticeable day to day, but on road trips, they're just a little bit more time consuming, sometimes a little bit more stressful if I have to, if I'm in a rush, or if I have to make extra stops. But other than that, the day to day has not changed one bit. And before y'all do rush the comments, I know I took the wheel caps off. Those only add 3 miles from what I've seen on Reddit, so don't freak out. I know. Right. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. After 3 months of owning this vehicle, do I have any regrets? Would I go back? The answer is no. I'm still pretty young, so practicality is not my priority. I think for now, I'm totally fine with having a Model 3 that goes pretty quick. Later on, sure, Model Y is a lot more practical. More range is going to be much more practical, and you know, cheaper as well if it's more efficient. But for now, do not regret this. I've actually been very thrilled with this car. I mentioned the range day to day really does not have any impact. So I do plan to keep this car for as long as I can, and I'll keep y'all updated on this journey. Thank y'all so much for sticking to the end, and I really appreciate all the support y'all have given me. Feel free to like the video to help my channel grow. And like I said, use my referral link if you are going to buy a Tesla. Thank you all.